When I first started investing in Lego sets for reselling and to grow value over time, I made a couple of pretty big mistakes right in the beginning. And today I'm going to talk to you about one of the biggest mistakes that I made and hopefully help you to avoid this mistake and maybe speed up your road to success in your Lego investing journey. So I'm Shane from brickbucks.net, and this is a channel where we talk about Lego investing and reselling. And essentially what we do is we buy Lego sets, we hold them for some time until after they retire and they're no longer available in retailers, and then we resell them after they've grown in value. So it's an investment, and you can make a lot more money by investing in Lego than you can in the stock market typically. And when I first started, one of the biggest mistakes that I made was to only buy sets that I was personally interested in. Now, this is a huge mistake that we see as we talk to more Lego resellers and investors as part of this community. We have a free Facebook group, we have a VIP member group, and we talk to a lot of Lego investors from different stages in their business. And a lot of people only focus on investing in sets that they personally like. So for example, we see a lot of people jumping into the Star Wars Lego theme, for example. We see a lot of people jumping into Lego architecture, for example. These are really cool themes, so it's very tempting. When I see the new Taj Mahal Lego architecture set, I am immediately tempted to buy it because in my mind, if I love it, other people are going to love it, and it must be a great investment. The demand will be there. Now, what's hidden behind the scenes of that is that I'm not taking into account the reality of the demand on that Lego set, and maybe some influencing factors on how well that set might do in retirement in terms of its value appreciation. For the Taj Mahal example, there has been other Taj Mahal sets before it. Will they impact the value of this one? The timeline that the set might be on the shelf, I should be thinking about that. The theme averages and how well they do over time, I should be thinking about that. There's a lot of different things that I should be thinking about aside from whether or not I like a set. Now, the real reason that I think that this really messes people up is because you miss other opportunities, right? If you only focus on the things that you like, you miss other opportunities. You won't invest in certain themes because you personally don't buy those themes, or you wouldn't build those themes, or you don't like those themes. And so maybe you're going to miss something like Duplo, right? You won't invest in Duplo because you don't see it, right? In your mind, Duplo is not worth the premium that you're going to have to charge after it retires in order to make your money. And if you don't think Duplo is worth that money, then you won't invest it because you don't see the value in it. It's the same with Lego Disney, right? Maybe you don't want to buy Disney sets because you're not really interested in Disney. And so you ignore a theme that has done pretty well in terms of returns. Maybe it's the same for Lego Friends. The video that we made about the Lego Friends theme had so many fewer views than some of the other theme videos that we did, like Star Wars or Architecture or Speed Champions. There's much less interest from resellers about Lego Friends. There are many Lego themes that have tons of opportunity when it comes to Lego reselling, but resellers and investors are not buying because they don't have an interest in the theme. And over time, as I've gotten more experience in this world of Lego investing, I've started to realize that that is an opportunity, and that I ignored that for too long when I first started, and I stuck to the themes that I was interested in. And even within those themes, I stick to the sets that I'm interested in, right? So the Lego Creator Expert is a great example of this. There's always sets in Lego Creator Expert that I personally am not a huge fan of. The London bus, right? I personally, just aesthetically, I don't really want a big red bus sitting on my shelf, right? I think that I would prefer to put the money into a cooler looking set, like one of the ideas, like the International Space Station. But at the same time, there is a huge market for that London bus set, right? If I was only focusing on sets that I like, I would be ignoring opportunities. So what should you do? Here's what I think everyone should do if you really want to up your game when it comes to Lego investing. And this is a journey that I had to go through, right? And I kind of, over time started to learn this. I started off with a handful of themes because I was interested in them, right? I started with architecture heavily when I first started Lego investing because I loved Lego architecture. I just thought it was such a cool theme, and I really just wanted to invest as heavily as I could in that one theme, and I ignored many other opportunities. And then over the next few years, I started to add some extra themes to my portfolio, but I still stuck with stuff that I had some interest in. So I started doing a little bit of Speed Champions, and I started doing a little bit of Star Wars, but I still didn't really invest in Lego Friends sets or Duplo or Disney. And then at one point, when I started to see the opportunities that I was missing, I started to just dig in on those themes that I knew I had been ignoring, right? So if you have a few themes that you feel within yourself, you just ignore. When you see anybody talking about this theme, you look the other way. You just don't want to even think about the theme because you have no interest in it. If you have some of those themes, whatever they may be, that is an indicator that maybe you should do a little bit more research on that theme and try to uncover some opportunity. So how do you start? You could just go to Lego Shop at Home, look at the big list of themes that they have there, go down through the list and figure out how much do I know about each one of these themes? How much do I like or care about each one of these themes? You can make a list, you can make an Excel sheet, and you can actually track each of the themes that you are least interested in or that you just don't like personally, and start to click into those themes and look at what's available and try to learn a little bit more about the audience of those themes. What's the demand? How well does the stuff sell? And how much does it go up in value over time? What you're doing is you're forcing yourself to ignore your preconceived ideas about these sets, and you're instead forcing yourself to do due diligence and start to look at the data and start to focus on the data. And this is what every investor should do. Now, this also applies to the stock market, right? If you're a stock investor and you are investing in individual stocks and you're not buying indexes, you're just picking stocks, but you only buy companies that you really love, you're going to leave a ton of opportunity on the table, right? You're going to leave, like, there's companies out there that are fantastic, strong, profitable companies that you won't buy because you know you're not really interested in their products. I think you're going to leave a lot of opportunity on the table. Now, I'm going to caveat all of this that there is some value that comes from being interested in the sets. There is some value. So I don't think you should ignore it entirely, and you can go a little bit deeper into a theme that you're interested in personally. That some of the value is that, you know, being able to put yourself in the shoes of the buyer is useful when you're trying to sell things directly. So for example, if you're selling on Facebook Marketplace, having an interest in the thing you're trying to sell will help you to speak the same language as the buyer. And, you know, if you're going to communicate directly with the buyer, it can be useful in that way. But if you're selling on eBay or Amazon, there's less importance on that. There's less importance on understanding the buyer persona, and there's more importance on just knowing that the sales are going to come. So that just comes down to the data and understanding the demand for the thing that you're trying to sell. Now, maybe a hidden benefit of liking the thing that you're selling is that you'll just enjoy it a little bit more. Storing 100 awesome Star Wars sets might be a little bit more fun than storing 100 Duplo sets that you just have no interest whatsoever in. But at the end of the day, you know, that doesn't put food on the table, right? So you need to think about the missed opportunity. And if you can get a higher return and make more money from a theme that you have been ignoring, I think I would prefer to go in that direction as opposed to just enjoying storing the cool Star Wars sets. Now, as part of this, you also need to ignore your assumptions when it comes to the price that someone might pay for something. If you believe that a Lego Friends set or a Frozen 2 set cannot go up in value the same amount as a Lego Star Wars set, because Star Wars has collectors and, you know, people who have more price flexibility and things like that, that is an assumption. Now, it may be a good assumption, right? And we do need to make some of those assumptions when we're thinking about themes. We do need to think about the target audience and how much money they may have to spend. But at the same time, we need to start to realize that some of those underlying concepts that we're thinking about when we're assuming that Star Wars will increase in price by more than another theme, they actually also apply to other themes. Star Wars has a huge fan base. And yes, there is a lot of collectors out there that will spend high prices to get the thing that they're missing in their collection. But Frozen 2 is also a hugely popular brand with huge fan base of collectors and people who are trying to build up Frozen 2 merchandise collections, right? Now, yes, maybe there's a lower number of them, but on the flip side of that, there's also less supply, right? Because there's less people selling Frozen 2 merchandise than there are selling Star Wars merchandise. And there's less people selling Frozen 2 Lego sets than there are Star Wars Lego sets. So with that less supply, there may be more opportunity. The point here is that a lot of the assumptions that we make based on our own preferences, they don't always map into reality. I talk to people as well who ignore themes like Minecraft or Ninjago or missed opportunity with Overwatch, right? Because people didn't know what Overwatch was. If the reseller doesn't know the theme, know the brand, they don't even do the research. They just ignore it. I talk to people that don't want to buy the Lego Central Perk set because they don't like the Friends TV show. They don't want to buy the Sesame Street set because they don't like Sesame Street. They didn't buy the Flintstones set because they don't like Flintstones. This is missed opportunity. I think you can do very, very well with your Lego investing business if you just think from a business perspective in terms of appreciation, how much the thing is going to grow in value, and ignore your own personal wants. Now, even outside of the Lego world, I want you to always think about this. If you're interested in other forms of e-commerce or reselling, building a reselling business, you know, it's just important to not only go into things that you're interested in, right? Don't close the door on item categories that maybe are just a little bit less fun. If you're doing private label, you're probably going to be selling, you know, a kitchen wooden spoon and making a ton of money, right? Like it's not something that you're interested in, but you're going with the data, you're going with the opportunity. Where's there gaps in the market? Where's there demand that there's not enough supply? If you only want to sell things you're interested in, I think you're going to leave a lot of money on the table. And I urge you in your Lego investing business to try to avoid that early on, and don't lose the time that I lost in the beginning by only going with things that I was really interested in. So that's it, just a quick video today. I just wanted to highlight this. Maybe it'll save you some time and, you know, help you think about things a little bit differently if you're starting or you're early in your investing business. Once again, I'm Shane from brickbucks.net. Please hit that like button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.